Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of the Age of Decadence. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we explore the city of Madoran. And in between episodes, I went ahead and flew my camera over the city, over this quarter of the city, because I found this thing over here. Go to the trade district. And as it turns out, well, at least I think it is, basically this is just the entrance district of the city, the arena. We got the arena over here. We got an arena master over here. This there's something over here saying arena. I don't know where it is though. It might be somewhere. There it is, the arena. Yeah. And we got also a few guys here, and we got over here a fort. I haven't looked at it, but yeah, we have a fort right here. This is the Imperial Guards fort. So right now we are right here, and I want to start the episode by thanking Jordan Cunningham. Jordan Cunningham down in the comment section. He convinced me to look at Streetwise with different eyes. So basically, the first time I read his comment, I was like, nah, Streetwise is cool and all, but you know, I'm gonna make do with the skills that I have right now, because I was going, and I'm still going for persuasion, lore, and trading, because I think those three skills can be quite useful in the, well, with the character that I'm using right now. But I think, I don't know, I think that in a city like this one, we should start Kato over here should start learning some lessons. Because the thing is, our life in Terran was fine. I mean, we had to kill a man, as you can see over here, we got a 1 body count. We had to kill a man. That was, well, a hard lesson, and it was actually a hard fight. But after that, I have since learned that fighting isn't really that good, so we had to invest a little bit with sneak. So maybe, and considering that House Aurelian, those who control the city of Madoran, don't like us all that much, and since we are a liegeman of the Daratan, which are basically their enemies, since House Aurelian basically wants to control the wall of the wasteland, as far as I can tell, since the city is so inhospitable, or it looks like so, I mean, it looks nice, I mean, nicer than Tyrion, but yeah, I'm gonna spend some points in Streetwise. I'm gonna increase it as much as I can. So basically, I was a journeyman. You're sure they'll pay you back as soon as they're able to. And then I am another journeyman. You're beginning to suspect that some folk are being less than honest with you. And then, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Well, the point is you can't fool me, right? Yeah, okay. 5 is gonna have to do. Yeah, we're gonna go with that for right now. And I hope that Jordan's advice is gonna pay out. I really do. But for now, let's look around. We got a guy over here called Clericus, and we got another guy over here called Kemnebi. And since he's closer to the exit, which is where he entered from, I'm gonna have a chat with him. And he has a weird name and a scimitar. He looks to be, what is he? Like a guy from the east or something? What do you want? The man in front of you is in his 50s. His face is deeply lined and weathered, suggesting that its owner spends most of his time outside, probably in the wasteland. I was just curious about what line of work you were in. Kinda don't want to talk about with people I don't know, says the man, turning away. And I guess that is that. This guy doesn't want to talk. I'm gonna chat with this guy now. Oh, by the way, there's a building over here that has 2 doors. Nobody, there's a guy, a local guide, yeah. There's a local guide, I'm gonna chat with him, but yeah, let's look at the building. And that's 2 doors, I don't know what it is. It's not marked anywhere, it doesn't say anywhere what it is. Looking around, there's a door back here. I didn't see that. Huh. And this back alley, that doesn't say what it is. I wonder. Let's go in there. Oh. You see a grizzled old fellow haggling with the innkeeper over a dish of scraps and a cup of watered wine. When they reach an agreement, the old man pulls the cup towards him for a long sip, savoring his drink, and reluctantly pours the rest into a bowl of yesterday's rice. He works the wine into the rice, which along with half an onion comprises his meal. After finishing it, he lets his gaze linger for a moment on the empty bowl before turning with a dispirited sigh to address the common room. A tale, he says in a hoarse voice, before pausing to cough explosively. Hearken everyone to a most wondrous tale, a tale I offer exclusively to the most distinguished patrons of this most illustrious establishment. Is it illustrious? I don't know if it is. Anyway, look around you, my friends, demands the old man. The patrons comply, obviously suspecting it is part of some feeble jest. No, not at these 4 walls, you dolts! Look in wonder on the glorious city of Madoran. Countless cities and towns, villages, hamlets have crumbled into dust. or been submerged beneath the waves, or swallowed by the desert sands, but Madoran survives. For 10,000 years the mighty capital has stood, and for 10,000 years still she will continue to stand, watching over— "I heard the city was 1,000 years old," interrupts a surly-looking metalworker in the crowd. "And where did you hear that, pray tell?" The storyteller seems to grow in stature, looking down at the man with disdain. "I was born here, as was my father, and my father's father, and his father before him, so which of us knows best, my greedy friend? Now set aside for a while that cackling of geese in the market, which is often mistaken for wisdom, and you will learn something of this city of all cities we are all so fortunate to call home." Madoran was old and wise, already a place of philosophers and statesmen, when the Empire was nothing but an upstart kingdom. Yes, they were brawlers, full of strength and bluster, let us give violence its due, but what would have been their end without our art, our knowledge, our wisdom? The Empire had their legion, my esteemed comrades, but there is a limit to what can be accomplished through brutality, and culture and knowledge. Add culture and knowledge to your strength, and you have a potent force. The old empire has fallen to dust, a heap of cracked stones where once stood mighty walls. Of ancient alien nothing remains but faded diagrams on a handful of mildewed scrolls. Madoran alone stands, their glory scornful of the passing of mere men, of time and decay, her nobles and lords, unfazed by— "I come inside to get away from the wind, not to bathe in it," dusty scribe declares. "Yes, get to the tale before ye crumble away yourself," another patron helpfully adds. "I'm getting to the tale," says the old-timer. He smiles still, but his eyes are tight with anger. "I know that such learned folks as yourselves must have heard of the dismal and storied ruin, that place of terror and woe, commonly named the Abyss. Well, there are rumors, there are tales, and there is truth. I will wager a meal that no one here has heard the truth." "And you know this truth?" asks the scribe with a smirk. "I certainly do," the storyteller snaps, for an instant unable to conceal the wary and bitter man he has become. "I happened in my travels upon a lore master walking alone at the edge of the desert. His apprentice had died on the road the week before, and worse luck, his mule soon after. The lore master himself was clinging to life by the barest thread. I shared my water with him, the only wealth I had to offer, for I am, as you see, a humble man, and his gratitude he gifted me his finest scroll, a first-hand account of that poisoned zone, which history has named the Abyss. This was 10 years ago, and the scroll itself is now lost, but luckily for you, my friends, I have committed it entirely to the vault of my mind." He taps a finger meaningfully on one temple. "Still, 10 years is 10 years, and a few of the details may be mixed up, but I promise it is worth your time, and a coin or two besides. It was during the final days of the Great War," he begins with the drama running close to the ridiculous, "when earth and sky both were riven by terrible weapons, when catastrophe chased disaster, entire cities vanished overnight, tens of thousands extinguished like candle flames swamped by the sea. Yet Madoran was impregnable, for no army could breach her mantle of magic. Any who approached were destroyed without mercy, like ants treading a bed of hot coals. But her enemies were as clever as they were relentless. One night, the city's magi tracked several new stars in the night sky, stars which moved, but did not burn out and disappear as their more common brothers. They declared this a dark omen and commanded the minarets and spires to cast their nets, just as these cursed beacons began to fall into the city. They were too late, however. One star escaped those nets to land in the venerable district of wisdom. It was the time when sun dawned in the darkest night, and the thunder that arose made the gods themselves tremble. With the real sun arose in the east, all could see that the district of wisdom was no more. What is left we now call the Abyss." "We do? Wait. Here in Madoran? The Abyss is here in Madoran? I don't know about that." "But that is not the end of my story, no. With that cruel dawn, a strange, misshapen man appeared at the gates. He was haggard and wan and stumbled as though wounded, yet raw power crackled the air around him. When he gestured, the steel gates, 12 feet high, crumbled as if no more than paper in its closed fist. The guards who rushed to meet him bent like reeds in a gale, but from the wind that bowed them, they would never spring back. In that instant, the city was doomed, for this creature wasn't a man at all, but a demon conjured in the unspeakable rituals of our enemies. There was, however, one who dared oppose him, Abu Hassan ibn Adad al-Sarabi. I pronounced that one right. I know this guy, it's the first mage. Yeah, it's the first mage. The first of the Magi. Though the lords of the city all knew him to be doing their good work 1,000 miles from Madoran, he had somehow appeared in their direst need to stand calmly waiting in the path. The twisted creature sneered at the world's greatest magus, using the familiar form of greeting and in an insult to such a powerful man, and asked if he still thirsted for knowledge man wasn't meant to know. Calmly, the magus replied that his thirst had been quenched a long time ago, and that his power, and that of his seals, had grown stronger since their last meeting, as the state of the demon's forlorn and raggedy host did attest. The demon had no witty reply to this, but reared up as if to strike him down. To the astonishment of everyone present, including the demon himself, his own limbs refused to obey. His ribs cracked inwards with a sound like twigs breaking. His legs buckled beneath him, and his eyes turned white, leaving him blind. Sealed within his ruined human form, he was unable to do anything but growl and curse. Ooh, got a hiccup right there. What did they do with the demon? Inquired the scribe softly. Sometime during the story, the patron's taunts and grumblings had faded away, and everyone sat on the edge of his chairs, fists clenched, wine forgotten. The details of the scroll did not reveal, says the old man, but I would venture the demon was locked away for eternity in the most impregnable sort of prison or vault. I mean, what else would you do with such a being? Huh, okay. So, the name of the demon, that would be cool. And yeah, that's also a pertinent question. That's also this. I hope I'm gonna be able to ask all of this. So, did the scroll mention the name of that demon? It did, says the storyteller. He's befuddled for a moment, since you're clearly the first person to ask him that. Balzurath. Balzurad? It was an evil sound, like vinegar on the tongue. Yeah, I eat vinegar. So, what were the Magi working on before the attack of the city? The scroll didn't say. All I can tell you is that the grandest and tallest buildings in the city was the House of the Magi, a dozen golden towers and silver arches hovering over the city. It was written that the highest pinnacle pierced the clouds, and the lowest catacomb dug deep under the earth, anchoring the tower in place. Can you see now what was lost? He was practically pleading for understanding. When will we ever rebuild such splendor? How? So, the House of Magi was in the District of Wisdom. Huh. So the Abyss used to be called the District of Wisdom. That is correct. It was the heart of Madoran, a place of temples, libraries, and schools. Granted, all I saw was an old drawing, but the image left me speechless and filled my heart with sorrow. Lore masters say that the answer to any question could be found in the District of Wisdom, if one knew where to look and whom to ask. Men would come from all over the land to seek out our wisdom. Now the only thing they seek here are the whores. So it was like a vast library. Oh, not wholly inaccurate, he replies pompously, but it was also much more than that. The ancients mined knowledge the way slaves mine ore. This city boasted the best magi, algebraists, topologists, alchemists, engineers, and the astronomers as well. Madoran had them all in one place. They walked these streets, breathed the same air, gazed upon the same stars. It was a time of wonder. So what do you know about the gods? Old wives' tale, says the old man dismissively. Men of wisdom won the war, not gods. Let these gods strike me down if I lie. Huh. So that's a completely different story from the one we've heard from Abdadad. Is that the name? I think it is. So yeah, a completely different story. So they didn't, in his scroll, Abdadad didn't call for the help of the gods. That is interesting. That sounds a little bit less plausible though, with all the, I don't know. I'm more willing to believe in gods than in superhumans, like Abdadad and his magical seals or stuff. So this is quite a big, expensive inn, huh? In this room, for some reason, what is over here? Why is there a door to the outside? Who are you guys? Oh, this door, what? There we go. I couldn't open it from the inside, which was weird. And this door, I can open it somehow. No, I cannot. I'm trying to click it, but I can't. Huh. I wonder why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. it wouldn't be able. No, it wouldn't do us any good to go in there. We got another. We got a guy over here that he's got a few chests. That's fine. We got a door back here. I don't need to open it, but I will just because there's a guy resting over here. That's fine. Let's go upstairs. Can I go upstairs? I can't go upstairs. Huh. Okay. And I guess that is that. We came in here, we heard a tale, and we are out of here. Let's have a chat with the guide. Oh, where's the guide? There it is. The local guide. Hello, local guide. Mr. Local. 10 Imperials, yells a man standing in the middle of the street. For only 10 Imperials, you'll get a tour of our glorious city and have all your questions answered. I'm not going to stand here all day, so it is a limited time opportunity only. Sure, why not? I'm rich. Excellent choice. But by the way, speaking of rich, I reviewed my footage and actually I realized what I was doing wrong. So you can sell items and get gold for them, and I was selling them and getting gold for them. I just wasn't paying attention and I wasn't seeing what was going on. So it's not a bug, it's just me being dumb as usual. But yeah, whatever. Still, anyway, let's keep going. Excellent choice, says the man in a patronizing manner, as if being pleasantly surprised by an out-of-towner's acumen. Rule number 1, stay away from the slums. If the city were a hill, then the slums would be at the very bottom of it, the final destination for all the shit that slowly flows downhill from one district to another. The guards stay away from the slums, and so should you, if you have any common sense. Well, I have some streetwise, so maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna be able to go in there. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, the only law there is the Thieves Guild, and it's a very simple law. If you're one of them, nobody fucks with you. If you aren't, you are on your own, which usually means good as dead. So I could be one of them. I could have gone with that choice, but I didn't. So how many districts are there in the city? We have 5 districts, but you should limit your stay to the trade and arena districts. Trust me, you have no business in the other 3. But since you paid me, I'm going to cover them in my tour to give you a proper perspective. At the top of the pyramid is the Palace District, named after, you guessed it, the palace. That's where the noble-born live, if they have the money to afford it. It's nice, clean, and crawling with guards. You steal a purse in the arena district, and all you're going to get for your trouble is a beating. You even look at the purse in the palace district, and the guard will chop off your arm before you can blink, just to be safe. Don't say I didn't warn you. Life isn't a picnic, even when you have 2 hands. But if you're down to 1, it becomes downright unbearable. Then you have the trade district, home to the Merchants Guild, which I am gonna go there, which pays a fortune in levies and keeps the district on the upper end of the scale. You see that golden dome in the distance? That's the Commercium, which is kind of fitting. Madoran used to be known as the city of 3 temples as a long time ago. The Commercium bought one, the thieves took another, and the Abyss claimed the third. So now we're the city of 2 temples, one house of the Merchants Guild, the other the Thieves Guild. What can I tell you? It's the sign of times. The trade district is for tradesmen, moneylenders, and impoverished nobles. If you're doing well, that's where you settle and consider yourself lucky. The arena district, the man gestures around him, is all about entertainment. We have the arena, of course, taverns, warehouses, nothing fancy, mind you. If you want a real courtesan, you go to the trade district. If you aren't picky and don't want to spend more than a few coins, you'll find plenty of local talent right here. The Imperial Guards barracks are here as well. They don't get involved in the local affairs, of course, but they do try to keep their house clean and keep the slums from growing any bigger than it is. So what's the last district? Oh, the Abyss, an old wound that still won't heal. The bastards hit up pretty hard during the big old war, so now we have a mile-long crater filled with fog and ruins, where 2 districts used to be. Keep in mind that the fog is still as deadly as the day it appeared, so if you're thinking of going in, don't count on coming out. Okay, so who rules the city? Lord Galus of House Aurelian, the best lord you could possibly wish for, bar none. He lives as alone, keeps the levies reasonable-like, and doesn't get any ideas like Maru. What's not like? Besides, he has too many of his own problems to worry about anything else. The Palace District is a nest of vipers, you see. When the Empire fell, most nobles fled to Madoran. Nobody wanted to go to two-beat towns like Terran or Stipur. Ganazar? It was not for everyone, even before Meru went mad. So, as I was saying, most nobles fled to Madoran, and by most I mean several houses with their guards and retainers. Oh, it was bloody. House Aurelian, one of the later rivals, managed to come out on top, which means that many families ended up at bottom. Still living comfortably, mind you, but that's comfort. But what's comfort for you or me is utter humiliation for the likes of them. Okay, so why do the guards avoid the slums? Surely they can restore the order. Surely they can, agrees the man, but if they do that, where will all the drags go? It's a harsh world, my friend. Some people don't have what it takes to make it. I'd rather they keep to one place than wander around aimlessly, bringing the quality of life down for the rest of us. It's a good arrangement, trust me. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. In the slightest. I mean, that's just... whatever. So... yeah, so where can I find some work? Try the guilds. They're always hiring, especially the boatmen. Business have been good for them lately. Alternatively, you can always go to the arena and try your luck there. Luck? I don't think luck's gonna have to do it with anything to do with it if I go to the arena. That's gonna be dumb stupidity for me if I go there. But anyway, I was looking for some people. So, do they have names? Yeah, Domitius Ulpius. Domitius. It rings a bell, but for the life of me, I can't remember. I think I saw him around here a few times, so maybe he lives here. Then again, maybe he just comes for the entertainment. Okay, so do you know a good lore master? They say that Master Erebus is as good as they come, but he lives in the palace, so I doubt you'll get a chance to see him. If you're desperate, try Abukar the Mad. You can find him in his observatory in the Strait District. The Mad? Well, it's not altogether there, but some people swear by him. Yeah. Okay, so... Okay, let me ask you something else. And that is that. 10 Imperials spent on this helpful fellow. And now I have a little bit of a better understanding of the city. So let's look around. So this is the... Okay, what's going on? You hear the sound of drums announcing the arrival of a caravan. And almost immediately crates, barrels, and sacks start flowing through the gates, followed by chained, dust-covered slaves and tired guards. So go take a look, I guess. Once inside the gates, the newer arrivals are dealt with a surprising speed and efficiency. Slaves are taken to the auction block, paid for, cargo delivered to the consignees, guards paid and discharged to boost the local economy. All that's left are small-time traders hoping to sell their goods at a profit in a big city, and the vultures that prey on them. Levy collectors would take all they can, and cutthroats would take everything, including their lives. One of the traders shakes his head and turns away from the levy collector to think it over. Almost immediately, he is approached by two rough-looking men who whisper something in his ear. The trader, still in a state of shock, accepts the generous offer, much like a drowning man gasps at straws, and follows them to his doom. Okay, so that's not gonna go well for him. Poor man. It's not my problem. It's really not my... Oh, actually... I didn't save the game. Well, the thing is, I have no average at streetwise. I have 5 points there. Should we follow them? I don't know. Jordan, have you led me to my doom? What have you done? Let's follow them. Oh boy, this was a bad idea. So, you follow them into a nearby alley, arriving just in time to witness the last act of the drama, the parting of the fools and his gold and possibly life. The thugs, now 3 of them, regard you as an extra bonus, 2 for the price of 1. What do we have here? Inquires one of the thugs, a skinny man with deep-seated eyes surrounded by dark circles. So has he died? I don't think he's died yet. So let's be all badass and stuff. So... is that what you do for a living? Rob and kill the newcomers, huh? Well, is that any of your business? Asks the thug, looking a bit confused. Get out of here. Let's go with... I don't know. Should I go with that? Yeah, maybe. Oh, streetwise! Yes! Thank you, Jordan! Thank you for helping me! Yes! So I told him to get out, and he asks, oh, what? Asks the thug, spreading his arm and pushing his chest forward like a monkey. Like the monkey he is! Well, I got streetwise. Let's hopefully, this is gonna do well for us. Because my bodyguard surely won't. I only have 1 guy to my name. Okay, so, or what? Do you have any idea who you're talking to, you stupid little fuck? Yeah! Yes! Hi, success! Easy there, friend. We're leaving, says the thug, raising his hands to show that he leaves in peace. Yeah, let's wait for them to leave. There we go, streetwise success. Perfect. Okay. I don't know what to thank you, says the trader, being visibly shaken. They would have killed me. The bastards would have killed me and taken everything. He hesitates for a moment, then makes a decision and removes a well-adorned dagger from his belt. Man, people keep giving me daggers all the time. I mean, that's fine. I also gained 2 skill points. It's been in my family for generations. My father gave it to me before I left. He told me that once unsheathed, it can solve any dispute, but I just couldn't bring myself to draw it. May it serve you better than it served me, stranger. May it. Oh. Whew. Okay, that was a bit tense. Let me save the game. So that's F5 for me. There we go. Whew. Okay, let me look at the dagger. It looks nice, the Arbiter. Ooh, it's a fantastic. Oh, actually, it's as good as mine. Weapon hardness 25%. This one is way harder, so it's better. This one though, to hit bonus. Oh, it's way better. Look at that. Crit chance bonus 26%. A family heirloom distilled jambia is clearly the work of a master smith. The grinds are flawless and the edge is exceptionally keen. Once drawn, the dagger is said to be able to solve any dispute, hence the name, the Arbiter. Let's go with that. That is a badass weapon. Critical chance 5%, passive value bonus. What is that supposed to mean? 21%. I don't know. 21%. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna equip both daggers in my thing because I don't need that. I only need that off combat, so it doesn't really matter to have it on the belt. Oh. Huh. Heard a few. What is that? I don't know what that is. What that means. You see that star and that thing? I don't know what that is. Huh. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's keep looking around. We got ourselves a nice looking dagger. One that will solve all. We'll get a courtyard over here. It's a typical Madoran courtyard, a cul-de-sac formed by houses built next to each other and smaller dwellings and sheds added later. The courtyard has its own well and an old campfire surrounded by worn-out tree trunks, serving as makeshift benches and empty bottles. Yeah. This is not looking nice. You got a guard over there. Of course, he's not looking inside because I don't know why. But anyway, I've spoken with this guy. I definitely have, because he's not going to speak with me anymore. Oh, the camera is crashing against the tower. Have I spoken with Clericus? You're too late, says a man standing next to an empty stall when you approach him. The caravan just left. It will take weeks before the next one is ready to depart. So, where do you send caravans to? These days, mostly Ganazar and Kertor. Asmara and Sipur are gone. Terran's about to join them. We need markets for our goods and local goods to take back to cover the costs and turn some profit. There are a couple of mining villages that can make a trip there worthwhile, but they're an exception rather than the norm. Asmara and Sipur, huh? Yeah, the Imperial Guards took over Sipur 2 decades back and ran it into the ground. Asmara fell a few years ago. Two lordlings tore it apart after their father's death. The way the story is told, the younger son gathered enough support and deposed his older brother, who somehow managed to escape, hired every mercenary company willing to fight for a cut of the action, and returned to claim the throne. The siege went on for years, and by the time the town fell and the mercenary companies took what they considered a fair share, there wasn't much left for it. Yeah. So why didn't the Imperial Guard stop in? Oh, the guard said that the chapter doesn't allow them to interfere in the internal affairs of houses. But the way I see it, the weaker the house, the stronger the guards. At any rate, I don't see them putting their asses on the line just to prop up some lordling. Well, they could have taken the house for them, the city for themselves. I don't know. So what can you tell me about Ganazar? It's a lovely town. It's built in cascading levels and around the castle that gave the town its name. So the view alone is worth the trip. Yeah, I want to go there. The archways of the low town becomes the walkways of the skyport. It's quite a sight, my friend. There's nothing like that left anymore. The locals are getting too obsessed with gods and worship. But maybe it's better than being obsessed with money and power, huh? I find it rather charming, to be honest. Skyport? It's one of the districts. The stories say that flying ships used to dock there, and it does have those strange platforms, but they could have been used for just about anything, if you ask me. Well, of course flying ships and chariots make better story, so what am I to argue? So, what can you tell me about Kertor? Oh, you've seen one military fort, you've seen them all. This one's just much bigger than all the others combined, but they keep it simple. Rows of barracks, granary, cookhouse, hospital, and the praetorium. This this empire splendor is surrounded by walls to keep the guards from running away in the middle of the night, no doubt. You mentioned villages as well? Yeah, they pop up here and there like mushrooms after a rain, but most don't last. It's hard to make it out on your own out there. They think they can grow some crops because they did it so well behind their shacks in the city, but a few acres filled in the middle of nowhere is the different game. First, it takes more water for once, and water is fickle these days. 1 year you have enough to cover 3 fields, the next barely enough for 1. Second, there are a lot more birds and animals to watch out for and guard your harvest against. Third, the rot. Once it starts spreading, you're as good as done. My uncle was a farmer, always talking about the rot. Well, okay, so I must be going now. Okay then, I think this was a nice start for Madoran. I can only thank Jordan again because I would have died. I would have died back there because those guys were not looking nice. My body count was not. It's definitely not anything to write home about. But anyway, for now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been the Age of Decadence. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Bye bye!